And we're back.
Wow.
And we're back with the clap.
Wow. With the clap, and we're back.
And we're opening the sugar-free Red Bull.
Sugar-free, baby.
No sugar.
Not no sugar.
Hey.
Clear difference. Big, major difference.
Huge difference.
I got my stimmy with me. I got my stimulant ready to roll.
Oh, I thought you meant your stimulus check.
Yeah. It's all going into the sugar-free Red Bull game, baby.
I haven't cashed it in 3 months, and I brought it over.
I bought stock in Red Bull with my stimmy.
We are back. What were you up to this past week? What'd you do?
This past week, got drinks with coworkers yesterday. Wonderful.
Okay.
Really nice. Hadn't seen them in 5 months. Did a little rooftop deal. What else did I do? When did I see you? Tuesday of last. Watching some of the episodes that we released.
Like, subscribe, share.
Smash it.
Smash the like. Follow on YouTube. Follow on Instagram.
Yeah. Follow. We'll set up a TikTok where we'll release the horizontal video on the vertical format of TikTok.
Yep.
And so
Andrew Scholes is saying, turn your phone this way, so are we.
Yeah.
Just in 15-second increments.
No, I say we just make it fit to the vertical. So it'll be incredibly
Right.
small videos that we refuse to buy into vertical. or we do vertical and then you just zoom in to just you and you don't see me at all.
Everyone's trying to fit the screen. We're going opposite direction.
You do the same video. You release 2 videos, and one is of you and one is of me, and you've doubled your content. You've doubled your content being created.
You see what Rich Apple's doing? He's doing abstract video podcasting.
Yeah, it's experimental. He's in a real Andy Warhol phase with his video content right now.
Right, start wearing dresses. It becomes a whole thing.
Yeah. There's a 12-hour clip of you just taking a nap. It's a real Andy Warhol thing he did. It's very stupid. It's a very stupid thing he did.
Any redactions? Redactions
from last time. No. I got. This is a redaction. I'd like to redact my hand gestures.
Oh.
My hand gestures and from the majority of the first 5 episodes.
Okay.
Because in watching them, when I'm making a point and I'm very passionate about what I'm saying, I'm getting a lot of this.
Right.
This is happening a lot, and I can't. And it's a lot of. I'm very engaged. It's a lot of.
You're very middle school musical with your hands.
Yes.
I'm
stirring an upside down bowl that's above me. You know what I mean? If the bowl's up here,
right.
I'm stirring it up like this. It's a lot of, I don't know, I'm balancing a plate. So I wish I didn't do that, but I'm just so passionate about the things that I have to say regarding TLC and defending myself from being canceled for Campbell soup and sriracha. So
I don't know if you saw, but someone commented, #cancel Taylor. Get it trending, baby. Let's get this trending. Let's get him out of office. Yeah. Enough is enough.
Yeah, the user was Mitch Fapple.
It's my evil cousin.
Yeah. He's clean shaven.
Now, you did get a tattoo, didn't you?
I got yes. I got a very, very stupid Lego man on my fucking leg because I'm living my 8-year-old dreams of being like, I love Lego so much, I want it to live on my body forever.
I thought you were going to say very, very tasteful. That's what I thought you were going to say, and I was about to combat you on that.
No, nothing is elegant about having a fucking Lego block on your leg. I love it so much, but I can also appreciate that it's one of the dumbest tattoos that might exist.
Here's the problem. Your tattoos just don't make sense.
All right.
None of them go together.
Hit me.
You got the bull with the flower.
Yeah.
You got the mom tattoo, which I know isn't for your mom. It's because of the brand you work for, you trash fuck.
And I got it for free.
And you got it for free.
Yeah. I got a whole section of my leg that's just free tattoos. So it's basically like I'm accepting billboard sponsorships. My thigh is becoming a billboard, and just put advertise here. That's gonna be my next tattoo. Is advertise here, and then my own phone number.
I just don't understand it. I have a friend who has, and his whole calf is the logo for the Blink-182 band. His whole calf.
Please,
is Blink-182.
if your next sentence is, I can appreciate that. I'm walking out of it.
No.
We're done.
My problem is I don't care about people's tattoos,
Yeah.
but you can't get a tattoo like that and then afterwards go, guess how much I paid? $60. Like, you shouldn't brag about the tattoo price.
I think you absolutely should. Because if that was really a $60 tattoo on the back of his cap, I'd be like, that's an amazing deal for a tattoo.
Tattoos aren't things you should be getting deals on.
I think you absolutely should. If you have a friend who's like, hey man, I'm like an up and coming tattoo artist and I want to fucking stab you in the leg a bunch of times, but it's Blink-182, just give me $50. I'd be like, there's the story. All of these are like,
Nope.
they're so, I think tattoos in general, just so anecdotal. You just fucking, they're in general, either there's a story regardless. Nobody goes, that's pretty, put it on. I mean, some people do that, but it's like, for the most part, you have a story of like, this is somewhat sentimental to me. So yeah, stab me in the leg a bunch of times.
No. If I have a friend come up to me and say, hey, I'm an up-and-coming chef, can you try this for me? I would still say no there, because let me tell you.
You wouldn't want an up-and-coming chef to cook you a
No,
meal?
No. I want an up-and-coming chef. I want their chef. I want people that are there. I don't want up-and-coming. I want there, all right? I told people I had a comedy show. Little did they know I needed 10 people in the audience, and not a lot of people came. You know why? Because no one wants an up-and-coming comedian. They wanted their comedian. They wanted their chef. I don't want an up-and-coming tattoo artist. I wanted their tattoo artist.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, in all fairness, you know, I don't want to tell you how much this tattoo was.
Tell me how much that tattoo. Can I guess?
Yeah, guess.
$250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. You are dead on.
Fuck yeah.
You were fucking were you in the tattoo shop when I fucking, like, did you see the receipt?
Yeah, well, when I tried to size it compared to your leg.
Yeah.
And I used the balancer that we usually use for the camera, and I used an algorithm.
You did it. You did some
I did some math, and I calculated, and I was like, it's probably about $250.
It was $200, and then I tipped him $50.
Okay. So this is my problem. It's very detailed. And usually when you find someone that has a detailed tattoo, it's a picture of like their mother or their child or something like that. And they'll be like, how'd you like the shading of this tattoo? And now I know you're going to be like, that's great shading. Very similar tattoo to yours. Yeah. It's a picture of a default Lego guy. So like, you compared that to my mother, and you're like, well, this one was never alive. Your mom's dead. This was never alive.
Exactly. It was never alive. Arguably a happier memory than your dead mother. Probably.
And you have your dead dad's.
Yeah, exactly. My dad
right,
tattoo,
signature.
My dad tattoo. I'm starting to divide it up by happy side, sad side. I got positive memories, negative memories. That's how I'm starting to divide up my body.
Did you ever consider, after you got your dad's signature, that somehow the tattoo artist got his credit card number and they've been forging your dead dad's signature, and you've been getting bills in the mail, and you're like, how is he paying for this?
All right, listen. This is a brilliant point that needs to be passed on to the IRS. Let's start looking into tattoo places and making sure that all these signatures are being collected and sold into sold to, I don't know, India, China. I don't know.
No, let's not go there.
China,
We're not putting
scammers.
labels.
Sorry,
Scammers.
Yeah, non-denominational. Is that
sounds good?
Right? Like not non-culture. Like you're not.
Can you not identify with a culture? That in itself is a culture.
Non-culture is a culture?
Non-culture is a culture.
Can't be right.
Like anti-comedy is a form of comedy.
Right, but it's not anti-culture. Non-culture is not anti-culture.
Those are two separate cultures.
That's ridiculous.
I know. Listen, I'm not saying I'm
this is an anthropology podcast now. We're here to get to the, the goal here is not to be funny. It's to get to the core of what culture is. What is it? What are we doing here? What is culture?
All right, first thing on the docket, those lip plates in Africa. What's going on with those?
Next thing on the document, rings on the neck in Africa. What's up with that? We're very focused on African cultures.
Yeah, those are the only two things we care about.
It's a African culture podcast. That's what two white straight guys doing African culture podcast. What's up? What's going on there, huh? It's crazy. Shit is wild. So yeah, I got a stupid tattoo. I think that's what it is. Is like it's just I just want it to be something stupid that I just look at and I go, oh, that's stupid. That's the dumbest fucking like the idea of looking down at my leg anytime and going, yeah, that's a Lego guy. Yeah, still a Lego guy. It's worth it. Somehow that's worth $200 to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah. If I talked to a financial advisor, they would be like, I would have advised against this. Would not.
Before we hit record on this podcast, you said, right now I don't have the money to invest in the real estate, but
I could have if I didn't get that damn Lego tattoo. Could have been the king of this fucking city, real estate mogul.
Mr. Smith, you're $250 short
of this brownstone. Yep.
Well, that's something.
New tattoo. I got my stimmy on. What's up with you? What did you do?
What did I do? I was in Syracuse. I spent a week.
The Q's.
In Cuse, Syracuse, New York. Technically Cazenovia, 45 minutes outside of Syracuse. If you thought...
Sounds very Eastern European.
It sounds very Eastern European. Very nice
It sounds like that made-up country in Avengers 2 that they lift up and drop. Really?
I'll take your word for it.
Unbelievable.
I don't like superhero movies.
It's unreal.
Yeah, well,
Hamilton's off for you.
I'd rather watch Hamilton than Avengers.
I mean, I would imagine that you would have strong negative opinions about those movies. You do not strike me as somebody who would go, "Oh, I've been missing out on."
It's the same storyline. Every single superhero movie is the same.
Do you
exact
like action movies?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that was gonna be my gotcha.
Yeah. No. I think they're all stupid.
Didn't get you. I mean, it's all fucking the same shit again and again and again.
Yeah.
You just pay fucking
Fast and Furious. I don't like those either.
Yeah.
You know why? Because explosions. I'm not a simple person. I'm not an idiot. That's why. I'm sorry that I like a little thought into my movies. I'm not a fucking idiot.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, Whiplash.
Fuck you. It's
a very good movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really hoping it was something like what's that one with where he's the how do you like them apples? Smart guy janitor. Where he's the
Scrubs?
No.
My favorite movie, I'm just like, Scrubs.
You don't know what a movie is. You're just like, dude, they got a fucking 11 movies in a season of these movies?
Pretty good.
Fucking great. Short and sweet, 30-minute movies, dude. I fucking love 30. They give you those commercials in the middle of it. I fucking love 30-minute movies. They're the best, dude. It's my favorite genre. My favorite genre is the 30-minute movie. Okay, sorry. You were in Syracuse. Cazenovia?
Cazenovia is the town name.
I don't believe that's a real
It's a real place. It's on the outskirts of Syracuse, which if you didn't think there were outskirts of Syracuse. And then there were outskirts of that town. And I'm like, no, everyone calm down. Yeah. This is all nothing. Let's all be adults. And let's all agree this is nothing.
The concept of an outskirt is such a brag. The concept of a geographic location having outskirts is just like you're making yourself bigger than you seem.
Well, we're going there. They have very nice waterfalls over there, and we're on the way there. And my girlfriend's like, all this stuff is like really the middle of nothing. And I was like, pull the car over. Can you pull the car over? Are we gonna talk like this the whole time? That this is the middle of nothing? Because let me tell you something. You don't have neighbors. You don't have neighbors, and this is nothing.
How about this? Let me know when we find something.
Right.
Let me know when we get to something.
I haven't had cell phone reception in a week, and you're telling me this is nothing?
Yeah. How many hours until we get to something?
Right.
How far in the tri-state area do I have to go to get to something?
Absolutely ridiculous. Well, I got up there through Amtrak.
Okay.
I got up there through Amtrak, and now, have you ever taken Amtrak?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. New York, Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, up to Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to Penn Station because you take it through Penn Station.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I was on the way there, and I got to Penn Station, and it's completely like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Completely desolate. Homeless people everywhere. So it's good to see nothing's changed. It's good to see that Penn Station is exactly the same as it was. It's fantastic. There was still a line for Krispy Kreme, and I was like, all right, everything is in tip-top shape.
It's the lights are flickering. There's tumbleweeds in Penn Station. There's barrel fires, and then there's just a fully functioning Pret-a-Manger.
Fully functioning and completely
all
stopped.
the lights on. They're just like wiping down the counters, just like we've been here for all 5 months. Right. We've been here all 5 months of quarantine.
So nothing has fit. We haven't seen the sun in years. You think 5 months is nothing?
It's a mole person working at the Pret. Just like they're like, I haven't been outside in 10 years.
All the homeless people are still owning Penn Station. First of all homeless people have cell phones somehow. Have you noticed this?
No.
Especially Penn Station, every homeless person had a cell phone, and a good cell phone. They had like iPhone 9s. I'm rocking a 6 here. We're doing this whole podcast on a 6. These people are taking selfies in portrait mode. How did they get their stimulus? What is your mailbox? Do you all share the same mailbox here? How are you getting this? So I had to wait for this fucking train to get there. Yeah. With the fucking homeless people cracking jokes. They had like an open mic going on, the homeless people. I was like, this is actually kind of hot. But
that might have just been an actual open mic.
It might have just been an open mic too. Yeah.
That might have just been comedians forming at Penn Station.
That's true.
Listen, we'll do this any fucking. I was fucking meeting up with a friend after I got my tattoo at the Brooklyn Arts Museum.
Oh my God. Yeah. They're doing a mic there like every week.
Have you been to it?
Nope.
It is 10 feet from where the mic is happening is 4 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
And then they just have the world's smallest amp set up, and a guy just got up, and this is literally what it sounds like. It's just like, and a guy's just going, all right, so let's get it started. Okay, who's ready for some comedy? And everybody's just on their phone reading a book, and the guy's like, yeah, man, all right, I'm going to go through some jokes. And I'm like, boy, I do not miss this.
Yeah.
This is.
You're probably thinking, hey, why aren't these people trying to improve themselves? Yeah. And, they decided to do that. So anyway, I did my first outdoor comedy show, like an actual show.
Yes. How did it
go? Show. I went great, but why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing live comedy during a pandemic?
Why did anybody do comedy before? It's the self appeasal. You're like, I don't think it's people hungry for comedy. I think that's.
Well, we had a decent amount of people there. We had like 50 people there. It was a good showing. The crowd size was good. But I felt like, you see these videos on National Geographic where a mother gorilla has a baby in the zoo, but it's a stillborn. But she still carries it around like it's living and that she's going to take care of it. And like its arms falling off and the flies are getting after it. But you don't care. You still have the baby and you're still working with the baby. That's what live comedy is now. You were just carrying along this thing that's dead. Why are we doing this? Let's have another baby.
Is the dead baby your career in comedy, or is it?
It's just like the whole
It's the experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are we? People came to our show. They went to DRK. They're in gyros on
the people who showed up to the comedy are the same people who would show up to the zoo because they're kind of fucked up and they're like they heard there was a gorilla carrying around a dead baby. They're just like, I don't know. I'm willing to pay some money just to see a gorilla holding a dead baby. I guess that's the mindset that I'm at right now.
Well, it was free. This is a free zoo.
Oh, yeah. There was somebody barking out front of the zoo being like, hey, man, we got a gorilla inside who's carrying a dead baby. And they're like, yeah, I could kill an hour.
It just makes no sense. You got an Instagram DM that said, hey, we're doing a show in a park. And you're like, where's the park? And they're like, oh, you have to walk through housing projects to get there. Do you have any interest? And 50 people said yes. How sad is that 50 people said, I'll walk through the worst parts of New York City to see this?
Well, I feel like at that point you're close to being like, hey, we got a show going on the other side of some housing projects. You got to walk through a terrible neighborhood. It's at 11 o'clock. And then when you get there, we are going to beat the shit out of you. And 35 people will show up. They're just like, I just needed to get out of my apartment. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
This is the craziest thing, all right? Yeah. So we do the shows at the East River Amphitheater, all right? Good show, great show, hot audience. And then the comedians have the balls to say, you guys want to get sushi?
To who?
To the other comedians. Where are we? We're in the middle of housing projects. What part of people living in poverty, you're walking around, there's cars on cinder blocks, and you go, you know what I could go for? Fish and rice. What are we doing here? What are we doing during a pandemic? That's privilege, to see people walk through poverty, tell jokes, and say, I need to go for fish now.
Yeah, but it's got to be... Can we get like the $40 sushi? You know, like I'm looking for the higher end sushi. You know, I can't. You know, the tuna, the mercury and the tuna. I cannot handle it right now. Right. So yeah, let's pop by Sugarfish on our way out of this housing project. Yeah, fucking dumb. That's so stupid.
So I took an Amtrak up. So I take an Amtrak up, and you've taken Amtrak before, correct?
Yes. I feel like what you're asking me is, have you been on a train before? And like, I know that's not what you're saying, but it does kind of sound like you're just like, you ever been on a train before? It's like a bus, but it's got way more wheels and it's on a track.
It's weird because it's like, it's basically a subway with like
seats.
Was
this your first time taking Amtrak?
It's basically a subway with carpet. That's really all it is.
It's a quiet subway ride.
What I'm trying to say, it's like
outdoors.
the same demographic of people on the Amtrak as there is on the subway. It's the same, like, it's some people who are trying to get to work. Some people that are homeless and genuinely out of their mind.
Yep.
And it's people that fall in the middle of the spectrum. I'm sitting on this fucking Amtrak. A guy gets there with a full thing of Panda Express.
All right. You can't just say full thing. Break it down for me. What are we talking?
It was like orange chicken rib. He had orange chicken and ribs. How did you get both proteins? Who gave you both proteins? How much did... Wait. And first of all, there's no Panda Express near Penn Station.
Wait, but also, does Panda Express have ribs? Like bone-in ribs?
They have boneless spare ribs. Usually they have orange chicken. They got a steak and peppers. They have boneless spare ribs.
Well, let me pitch you a theory on how he got that Panda Express. My guess is this is a guy coming in from New Jersey. He took a bus in to Port Authority, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Port Authority does have a Panda Express. And then he picked up his Panda Express, and he's like, I got to go catch a train even farther out, but I don't want to eat this Panda Express right now. I'm going to save it for the decent people on the Amtrak train, and I'm going to crack it. I'm going to crack into some orange chicken in this capsule on wheels. So he walked it. I bet he walked it.
You think he walked it?
I bet he fully walked it from Port Authority all the way down to Penn Station.
I think you're giving this guy a little too much credit.
Where do you think he got Panda Express from?
I have no idea. But he didn't
look like a seamless. He got it seamless to Penn Station. He was on his way in, and he's like, "All right, I'll be the dude."
Yeah, this homeless guy that had one pant leg and one short ordered seamless Panda Express to Penn Station
for the instructions.
Right.
He said, "I'm gonna be the guy outside of Penn Station."
Right. I'm gonna be the guy masturbating on the steps of Penn Station.
Keep an eye out.
Drop it next to me.
Keep an eye out for a guy out front of Penn Station. There's 300 of you. Oh, well, I guess it's not now, but yeah.
Right. He didn't look like a guy that was reasonable. He didn't look like a guy where I was like, oh, how'd you get that orange chicken?
And he'd have a straight answer for you.
And he'd be like, oh, you didn't see it over there?
Yeah. Well, he'd be like, I fought a dog for it. And you'd be like, all right, I don't have any follow-up questions for you.
Right. I'd be like, all right, thank you. You have a good trip, sir. And then Amtrak, it's an okay ride. It's fine. First off, they have smoking stops on the way there. Albany and Syracuse are both designated smoking stops that Amtrak has.
So what, they do 20 minutes?
Given them.
They do a 20-minute stop?
So basically, there's like, I don't know how many stops between. There's probably like 4 or 5 stops between New York and Albany, and then 4 or 5 stops between Albany and Syracuse. So between each stop, they'll be like, all right, next stop, Yonkers. Just a reminder, in 2 hours, we will reach Albany. That is a smoking station. And you will go outside and you can have a smoke break and we will get back on the train. And I was like, oh, how many people have complained to Amtrak that, excuse me, I've been on this train for too long. I need a cigarette. I can't enjoy my orange chicken and boneless spare ribs with yellow rice
that I stole from a dog
without my hourly cigarette. Can we stop at Albany for 45 minutes so I can have 17 cigarettes, please? Thank you.
Well, listen, as we've talked about on the show, Albany is in dire need of things that are interesting about the city. So I feel like it was a big get for them that they could almost put as their motto, Albany, the city of the smoke stop. The Amtrak smoke stop station. Come here and have a cigarette. That was the Albany tagline.
Albany is just, it's the city version of a cigarette that just was thrown off from someone's hand. It's still fresh, but it's on the ground. It's not doing great. But no one stepped on it yet, so it's still kind of hot. You can still use it, but it's pretty much useless at the end of the day, unless a homeless person comes up and smokes it, which I have seen.
I'm trying to think of where you get to Albany on the train, and then you have a smoke break, and then you get on. Where is your final destination?
So that's my other point.
You know what I mean? Like, where are you going from there?
We stopped in Rome, New York. Who the fuck is taking a train from Rome, New York to another city? Why don't you have a car?
I'm just learning Rome, New York is a place that exists. No
exactly.
Fucking clue. No fucking clue. Rome,
New York. It's west of Albany. Albany to Rome, New York is the stop along the Amtrak Express.
How far is it?
20 minutes. Who the fuck needs to get from Albany to Rome? Who doesn't have a car?
It takes an Amtrak train. They're popping on the Amtrak to be like, just a quick 20-minute jump over to Albany.
You know what? I do have a car. I just enjoy having a train car that serves soup. And I would like to have a soup.
I enjoy the smell of cigarette butts, secondhand smoke coming off, and some orange chicken. That's what I'm dying for 20 minutes.
Absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
Instead of taking this Amtrak, why don't you find a job and save up money to get a car? How about that?
Yeah. I can't tell who you're mad at.
I'm mad at everyone.
I'm trying to picture the actual person who you're upset at from what you just said.
I'm mad at all the people on the Amtrak. I'm mad at Amtrak.
You're mad at a worker in Rome, New York, who's like, I got to get to Albany, or somebody in Albany's like, I got to get to Rome. You're like, fuck you.
What business do you have to conduct that's in Rome, New York, that you're like, I need to take a train there? I don't have enough money for a car, but I do need to conduct business in this town.
Listen, if I had to take a shot in the dark, based on very little information, I would assume it's gladiatorial fighting.
Gladiatorial fighting?
Yeah, gladiators.
Nah.
Come on.
Yeah, you reach for that one.
Rome, New York having gladiators? Come on. I found out about it 5 minutes ago. Give it to me.
Yeah, you know who doesn't have gladiators? Albany. That joke's fucking stupid. That's a stupid fucking joke. Albany doesn't have gladiators. It has very low income is what Albany has.
And everybody knows that gladiators are a high-income occupation.
Don't you know anything?
You don't just get into gladiatorial fighting with no income, okay? You have to have some sort of money built up to afford the leather and the spears and the tigers that you have to fight to death, let alone a coliseum. How are you going to pay for it if you're working at fucking Panda Express, okay?
If you learned anything from global history class, Taylor, you'll learn that the gladiators started as slaves, they fought, and then they became the top of the food chain, all right? That's how it happens, all right? I'll tell you what Albany doesn't have, anything on top of the food chain. They have nothing.
Everybody knows that the end of the movie Gladiator was the guy became a super rich dude and lived happily ever after, okay? Because he made his income after becoming a slave and then becoming the champion, okay? Yeah, everybody knows that.
And who played Gladiator? Russell Crowe.
And
he's doing pretty fucking good.
Very rich guy, okay? And I think that has a very clear connection between Gladiator and being Russell Crowe. I thought I heard. Is that you? Oh, that's you pushing it around.
Yeah, it's me pushing on
the Red Bull has kicked in, baby. In case you were wondering, I was like, what's going on? So anyway, high income job. Anyway, terrible joke. We nailed it.
We nailed it right
We
there.
did something with it.
So got to Syracuse. It's what it is. Nice downtown. I like the downtown. We went to a Mexican place which had no Mexican people working there. The only Mexican people work in every other restaurant in the world, except for the Mexican restaurants in Syracuse. Even those are white. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Are they artsy? Are they like artisan? Are they
it was like
are they like quirky branded?
No, it had a catfish taco which was very good, and it was very good. But
I think that's sort of a tip off of like. Like I'm not saying that a Mexican restaurant can't have catfish, but typically if it's like a catfish or like some kind of like, obscure taco, that's not just like red meat or like pork.
Right.
It's like, oh, this is what's like a hip. It's like a hip taco place, which I'm convinced.
No, they were going for like, it was not hip. They're just going for like good Mexican.
Okay.
Not maybe authentic, but they were going for good, and it was good.
Yeah. Because I got a hot take.
Oh,
hot take alert. We'll throw something on there. We haven't done a single graphic that we said we were gonna do. Did you?
Yeah, I have.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the YouTubes.
Yeah. Well, I skim through.
Okay.
I look for some me highlights, and then
fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not a lot.
Well, they're there.
All right. Hot take. There is a sliding scale of. The more that a Mexican restaurant is branded, the better that it is branded. Like cool logo, cool menu design, compared to a ugly branded, like chalkboard written thing.
Right.
The less branded it is, the better the food will taste. And the more branded it is, the worse that the food will taste. That's a
good rule.
Yeah. So many times I've gone into a place being like, oh, they got a fun logo. I'm sure they got their menu together. And then I'll have it and I'll be like, that was fine.
That's such a graphic designer fucking mindset. You're like, that's a cool logo.
Not even cool logo. It's just a competent logo. You know what I mean? Like there's so many, it's so many logos I'll see that I'm just like, that's just an incompetent you're not communicating anything. It's stupid. It's just, you're more confusing than clear.
Yes.
The idea
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, the idea of a good-looking logo means nothing to me because it's like all subjective. It's like artwork being like that painting is good, that painting is not good, and it's like, well, is it clear or is it confusing? Anyway, taco place with clear like graphics that's like all like like a funky mural on the inside that I painted
of course, right, and then he shuts down a month later because they didn't have a liquor license, and then they were going to a liquor store and buying big bottles of liquor because they didn't have a line of credit. Right. It was also on Avenue D, which is notorious for being arguably the worst street in New York City. Listen, it was a block away, two avenues away from where I lived. It seemed like I was in a whole nother dimension. Yeah. How did that happen? It was Alphabet City, but they didn't like to talk about that letter. Alphabet City is hyped up. They're just like, we got you A, we got you B, we got you C and D, and then A, it's Alphabet City. Avenue D of Alphabet City is kind of like they were like, they shot I Am Legend there, and then they forgot. They forgot to clean up after themselves, so it just kind of still looks like that. You can see the vines start to reclaim cars as soon as you turn the corner onto Avenue D. Right, the dogs can't step into the sunlight on Avenue D; they still hide in the shadows. You see posters flapping in the wind of like promotions from 2008. You're of like things that clearly are so outdated for when society fell apart. Right. Yeah, biohazards things slapped over everything. Fucking iPod Nano advertisements on Avenue D. No one's even bothered to put up an ad there. Mila Jovovich is walking around scouting a new Resident Evil movie. They're just like, I think this is it. I think this is where we shoot the whole movie. Pretty good. It's pretty good here. So better branded. Because the reason why I'm saying is after I got my tattoo, I went around the corner to this taco place that I did not know it was a taco place until I was inside looking at the menu. Those are the best taco places. Easily. Those are the best restaurants. I'm not going to say taco place. I could not tell you the name of this place. Beautiful.
I knew they had a brisket, and here's also, brisket was within the top 3 of the things that they were offering taco ingredients. They were like, you want a chicken, do you want a pork, or do you want a brisket? Right. And I'm like, that's like the fact that they didn't call it...
You had 3 options, fuck you.
And they also didn't call it steak, or they called it brisket, which I'm like, that's gonna be a fucking chewy, like delicious taco. And it was. And they did like a little oil fried tortilla. Like it was like a crunchy, it wasn't like a hard shell, but it was like a soft shell that got like a little crispy. Delicious. Fucking great. Yeah, so. And then I compared it to the last taco I had at like a nice branded restaurant, and I was like, this is far superior.
Yes.
This is, without a doubt, far superior. So there you go. Hot take.
I don't even think it's hot.
Yeah, it's just an observation.
Yeah, I think that's everyone listening to this right now is just nodding.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, I guess the implication of a hot take is people are going to be like, nah, I don't agree with that.
Right. Everyone's like, yeah, we're 100% on board with you on this. 100%.
I got to get a better grasp of vocabulary and words. Like when I say hot take, I got to understand. I'm just making a cohesive observation.
You're just so defensive because you think people are going to cancel us over this podcast. So you're like, hot take
alert. I
think everyone's equal.
I'm going to use Mexican in a sentence.
Back to the live show thing.
Yeah.
People were saying people were saying comedy, Some people were saying hot takes. And everyone was like on board, no matter what you were saying on either side of the spectrum. And then this guy goes up, tells a joke about puzzles, and this one woman walked from across the park and said, "Are you talking shit about puzzles?" And like you could kind of hear her, but like you knew what she was saying. Like it was such it was the perfect volume. Like she was screaming from such a perfect distance that you heard her say, "You talking shit about puzzles?"
Well, this is clearly somebody who's spent 5 months in quarantine doing 19 puzzles.
Well, she was doing yoga, so she was being all meditative, and then she heard puzzles, and she walked over. And said, "You fucking serious?"
She was doing the downward dog. She was doing like baby yoga where she like had her child with her, and then she's like, "Here, take my kid.
Right.
I heard something negative about a puzzle. I'm gonna go fuck some shit up."
She reacted as if, "Did you say puzzles?
Yeah.
My father was murdered by puzzles. How dare you bring up puzzles? There's some puzzles that make up swastikas? How dare you bring up puzzles?"
You're a Nazi puzzler! You're a puzzle Nazi!
And the guy's just trying to be like, "Yeah, so I did a few puzzles. I don't know, and I'm not a big fan."
You could have at least walked around the park beforehand and said, "Trigger warning, we're going to talk about puzzles here in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
So I went to a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
And
hot take.
Well, it's not the number one. We wanted to go to a place. It's called Pastabilities. Taylor, that's the name of the place. It's called Pastabilities. It's the number one Italian place in Syracuse.
I am so sorry.
So Pastabilities. That's right. The number one Italian place in Syracuse. It has a pun name.
As in, it's within the realm of Pastabilities.
Bingo.
Okay.
The reason why.
I mean, listen, if we were debating what the title of this episode is going to be, A Realm of Possibilities should absolutely.
A Realm of Possibilities. There you go. We heard the title.
Boom. There it is. A bing.
Boom.
Yeah. So you were at a Pastabilities.
Well, we wanted
the number one pasta place.
Number one Italian restaurant in Syracuse. Hour and a half wait for Pastabilities. Now, why did we want to go to Pastabilities? Let me explain. I've heard about this place for fucking a year and a half, 2 years. All right, about how great Pastabilities is. Why have I heard how great it is? One of the first dates I went on with my girlfriend, I took her to a place called Grimaldi's in Brooklyn. Have you heard of this?
I know the name. It's a very distinct name.
It's a very famous pizza place. It's built into the Brooklyn Bridge, the building. World-renowned pizza.
Yeah, I think I've been there.
Very good. A very good coal oven pizza.
Yeah.
And I took my girlfriend there, and she took a bite out of the pizza, and she said, it's not too good. And I was like, this isn't good.
So
this
good.
isn't good. And
so
she's
funny.
like, no. I was like, explain to me what's not good about this pizza. She's like, the sauce tastes like SpaghettiOs. I was like, okay. So what you're telling me.
And that's not okay?
There's two problems with that.
There's two problems.
Number one, this is the best pizza in the world. It's ranked as one of the best pizza places in the world. So not only are you wrong there, also, why do you know what SpaghettiOs taste like? You're 25 years old.
Yeah.
Why are you biting into something and go, that tastes like Dunkaroos?
Yeah.
You shouldn't know
you should,
what these things taste like.
You shouldn't maintain that memory.
Right.
Or it shouldn't be your palate should be evolved beyond things you ate when you were 9 years old.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, so what's the best pizza place in the world? Expecting another, like, maybe a New Haven location, because people like New Haven pizza. And she's like, oh, it's Pastabilities in Syracuse. And oh my God, I was so close to flipping the table. I've never been, I said, what's the name? And she said, Pastabilities, as if I was an asshole for not knowing the name of Pastabilities.
I think in that one very specific context, if you happen to maybe push her out of her chair and everybody went, what the fuck? And you'd be like, she said her favorite pizza was from Pastabilities in the restaurant. They'd be like, okay, all right, you're good. I think you're good. I think you're okay. Don't do it again, but I think you're okay. I think you're gonna.
They would have just taken her chair.
Yeah,
they would have just picked it up and like, you can't sit here anymore.
Yeah. They'd be like, listen, it's very uncool that you did that, but I totally understand that you were just reacting to the situation. We're gonna take her chair. We're gonna the meal's on ours. We're so sorry that this happened to you. Please accept. You know. Here's a grief counselor.
Right.
Here's a number for a grief counselor. Some couples therapy might be the best thing for you right now.
Yeah, they're not that type of Brooklyn.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Yeah. No, these are old school Italian Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Where they would have hit me for not hitting her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how Brooklyn they are.
Yeah, they're like, do you want to do it or do I need to do it?
Do we gotta do it?
Yeah, do we gotta do it or are you gonna do it? Somebody's hitting her. That's all I'm saying. Somebody's hitting her.
The governor of New Jersey comes back. Who do I got fucking hitting here?
I just got done confirming that The Sopranos is a fictional stories and TLC they're done for the summer. So who am I hitting?
Right. Who am I hitting?
Yeah, who am I hitting?
So that was Syracuse. Then what else did we do? Oh no, there's because she lives on a farm up there. I hauled hay.
Yeah,
I hauled hay.
You were saying
I felt like I was getting ready for a college football season. Well, high school football. Like I was brought
flipping
back.
Tires. You were just going around.
I was like hauling hay. And I thought I was gonna head to like a weight room with dust all over it, and then just get ready for 2-a-days in August. I was ready to go.
Like you were B-roll in a Ford commercial. so it's the guy.
I'm just swinging it up. Yeah. First of all, I think I'm the only guy that's ever hauled hay and also had pomade in their hair at the same time. I don't think that's ever happened before. I think I'm the record holder there. Yeah. I also wore my fucking shorts, my corduroy shorts. I'm wearing corduroy shorts, pomade in my hair, and I'm hauling hay with my horn-rimmed glasses on. On this farm in upstate New York, they had Amish people working on their barn there.
Yeah.
And like the Amish people were talking about how great Trump is, and I was like, what kind of is this how toxic politics has gotten that the Amish are getting into the game now? The Amish used to just be people that churned butter and built barns. And now they're talking about politics. Can we make the Amish again?
It's so funny. They don't have the internet. And they don't have TVs. So where is this information where is their Trump information coming from?
Because he's so pro-farming. And they're like, that's truly the only thing we care about.
But what I'm saying is like, they're not getting the New York Times because that's not very pro-Trump. Well,
I think what they're doing...
What publication...
Because they still get taxed and, still going on with trade and stuff.
But where do they get their news that's somehow pro-Trump but also not technology?
No, that's the thing. They have no news. They're farming.
So somebody just
taking in more money because of the farming.
So somebody just came by one day and was just like, hey, Trump is pro-farming? They're
just I'm sure they know who the president is.
I'm not saying that, but it's like... generally, we're all getting our news source from one thing, which is the internet or from TV, right? They have none of that.
They have none of it.
So how are they getting?
Well, they have radio. They listen to the radio.
How?
But they can't. They can't turn it or something because they were listening to the radio all day, working on the barn. So I don't know. And they also use their house phone.
Is it possible that they were Mennonites?
They weren't, because I asked.
You did ask if they were Mennonites?
I asked if they were Mennonites.
So I feel like you buried the lead on this. You had a full conversation with some Amish people.
Oh, no. I asked my girlfriend and her family.
Oh.
Because I didn't want to walk up to the Amish. Because I don't know.
I don't want to talk. I wouldn't want to talk to the Amish.
Have you ever, encountered the Amish?
Yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Right. So... Yeah. They were working on the barn, and I would walk outside, and they would stop what they did and just stared at me. Kind of like deer. Like deer in your backyard.
Meerkats.
They were just they'd stare at me, and I'd just be like... And they were like... And we just stare at each other.
I'm picturing they want to turn the volume up on the radio, so they just take a broom and they're just trying to touch the volume knob and try to turn it because they can't it's something like they can't physically touch it, but they're just like, I don't know. Oops, I threw a ball at the radio and it turned on, so I guess we'll keep this devil box on while we're doing this barn music.
Right.
Yeah. But the idea that you've got technology, a very small speck of technology, and you don't do technology, and the thing that resonates with you the most of technology is conservative talk radio. I would love to get a better understanding of how the Amish get news. Period.
I think they should just care about business. That's all they care about. Just if they could bring in money through farming, through building barns, through wood burning ovens and stoves and stuff. As long as they can make the most money doing that, that's all they care about. That's Amish life, baby.
Selling peaches and pies.
Selling peaches and pies, right. Trading. They don't care about anything else.
Trading?
They trade. Amish markets. Produce.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Trading is in they have markets set up. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. We've been super derailed because honestly, the culture, this is a culture podcast.
The
culture podcast. The culture of the Amish, fascinating to me.
Listen, you could say you hate Trump. You could say you love Trump. One thing you can't take away from him, no other president has ever gotten the Amish vote. Not a single president has done that. So that's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. That he's hit the Amish community. It's truly impressive.
Yeah. I think Bush got to him too. They're just like, I'd have a beer with him.
They don't drink.
Fuck. God damn it. I'd like to stare at a beer with him.
That's how they measure how cool someone is?
Yeah. I would open a beer, sit it down, and watch him drink it. That's why I'm voting for Bush. That was the.
Also in Syracuse, we went to a bar like it was open, like you just walked in, sat at the bar, and no masks, no rules, no social distancing rules. But then they were
living in January 2020.
Well, they were like, and also, with the law, you have to buy an item with your drink. And I was like, oh, that's where we're gonna start focusing on the law, is the purchasing of food items here.
Yeah, and they're like, listen, we're real sticklers about law and order here. So here's your
and then the guy spit in my glass and cleaned it with a dirty rag. He's like, what will you have?
Yeah, with a dirty mask at a protest.
Right.
That is so funny. They're just, he's legally, do what the fuck you feel about a mask, but here's your loaded tots and your shot. Here you go.
Right.
Enjoy it. Fucking enjoy it. Let's see. You got Syracuse. Trying to think. You sent me some things that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, yes, we got some topics.
We got some hot tops. Hot tops.
Did you write down anything?
I did not write down anything.
You didn't write down anything. Yeah, that's fine because I only sent you 2 topics, I believe.
Yeah. Which I feel like that's good enough to
get
it. Oh, I did want to. Oh, I had a stupid conspiracy. I was gonna text you that Corona inadvertently is preparing people for long form space travel.
Yeah, that's real. I don't even know how you got there.
Yeah. Well, just the idea of, being in isolation for 5 months is like a...
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Of like, you got to stay indoors. You can't be around people. And also the idea of like preparing for death at any moment.
Right. This is all Elon Musk with SpaceX. Ready for Mars.
Can somebody go check on Elon Musk and make sure he doesn't have a big dartboard of like the master plan of like releasing COVID?
Right.
And then it's like 2020 release COVID, 2030 Mars.
And then just a big question mark in the middle. And he's like, I don't know.
All he got to his plan was release pandemic virus and then 2030 Mars.
And even Mars has a question mark. He's like, I don't even know if we're going to be able.
He's got moon. He's like, that's his B. That's his B thing. And then it's just somewhere in space. It's just outer space.
Right.
That's my stupid conspiracy. Kylie's a culture stealing colonizer. That's what you sent me. That's great.
Have you looked into it after I sent it to you?
No, I was just gonna react to whatever you had done.
Yeah. So Kylie Jenner was in the music video for the song WAP.
Yeah.
With
wet ass pussy.
Which is an acronym for wet ass pussy.
Yes.
And we've somehow made a song called Wet Ass Pussy.
Yeah.
Political.
Yeah.
People are like, how do we make COVID political?
Yeah.
How are we making wet ass pussy political?
Yeah.
Also, how is Kylie Jenner a colonist?
Yeah.
The reason why they're like, she's using these two African American musical artists to expand her brand, when really
but also,
it's the other way around.
Yeah, but also, I without reading it, my gauge from watching the music video several times, but watching the music video,
it's a good video.
Good video. It's a great video. But I did not get the impression that her 15-second cameo in it was her reaching out to them and saying, I'm going to be a part of your music video.
Of course not, but people have to be angry, Taylor.
Yeah.
People have to be angry. If they see a white person in a black person's music video...
Isn't she Armenian?
Right. Well, now you're getting our Armenians white. When you could get into that on your own time.
Is that
well, it's technically Europe, but it's like Middle Eastern. Okay. It's a weird...
I
don't ask the Turks. But
if you say so, I just found out what Rome, New York is, so I clearly don't have a gauge of geography.
Right. But yeah, first of all, to imply Kylie Jenner is a colonist would also imply she knows how to work a boat. I don't think she knows how to do that. Something tells me
you're going by the strictest definition
Kylie Jenner,
of what a colonizer is.
Do you think Kylie Jenner knows topography and how to read a map and how to know when storm trends are coming and how to navigate the 7 seas and how to take over a village? Of course not. She doesn't. She knows how to push and pedal makeup. That's what she knows how to do.
Yeah.
She's a colonizer. You know who always talks about colonizers? People in the 9th grade, because they just learned what a colonizer is.
We should really just start gauging the decisions that Kylie Jenner makes of like, is it better or worse than that Pepsi commercial that she did in 2012?
That's funny. Different sister.
Is it?
Kendall. You're thinking Kendall.
That's Kylie.
Kendall did the Pepsi. Kylie is in the music video.
Is Kylie the youngest?
Kylie's the youngest.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So close.
So
close to being a funny thing.
Close.
Damn it.
No, but it is good. You're bringing things together from past episodes. You're doing a good job.
You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm trying my best out here. I'm trying to work my way up to middle management of this.
Right.
Podcast.
Well, Papa John's still on top, but Papa John's still on top of you. But I really do think, because you're working hard for it, and I do think you'll get there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my performance review around episode 10. Maybe we'll do like a
performance appraisals.
Yeah. We'll go through the episodes and just be like, here's your strengths. We'll do the feedback sandwich. We go positive, negative, positive. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, you'll be like, I like that you show up and talk and listen. I don't like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I also like that you diversify the way you cross your legs.
All right, we'll do that. Performance appraisals. We'll do it every 3 months.
Yeah, every 3 months.
Every 3 months we'll do performance appraisal.
Yeah. Gotta update. I'm gonna update my LinkedIn.
That's funny.
Yeah, Kylie. Kylie being a colonizer it's just like it's just a testament to nothing popular can not be political. Like everything that is popular has to, on some level, be a political talking point. Maybe because it's an election year, but I feel like it's more just that's just what pop culture is now. It's like because politics is so mainstream and such a in your fucking face aspect of pop culture that everything pop culture is now political because everything political is pop culture. Right. Which is, to me, very stupid because you take something that is entertainment and immediately you go right and wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that there aren't things that are wrong that you like film, but like we have to have a 9-panel person on CNN or Fox News have a debate over the right and wrongness of a 15-second aspect of a music video that, for the most part, is about silly. It's silly. Like I'm saying it's silly in like a fun way. Right. The idea of a song "Wet Ass Pussy" is hilarious, and I think it's great, and it's a fucking great song. And you got Kylie Jenner walking through. I think she just looks kind of dumb. I just don't.
Yeah, they're all dumb. They're all stupid.
No. I'm saying like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion look cool. They look like cool, and like they look like it was like they're like owning the concept of it. And then Kylie just kind of looks like she wandered on set, and then the camera was in the right place. Like if you really watch that clip,
she looks like she was paid to be there.
Exactly. She looks like it really looks like she stumbled onto the set, like, and was just sort of like, what is happening? And they're like, the cameras were rolling, and they're just like, can you walk down this hallway? And she's like, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
I was wearing this anyway.
Yeah, like, can I leave 5 seconds after this? And they're like, yeah, we didn't ask you to be here in the first place.
Right. Something tells me if you're a gigantic fan of Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B, if you're diehard fans for them, you're probably not an expert in sociology. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. So let's reserve this for people that know what they're talking about.
Yeah. And I think that if you went to a sociology major and said, hey, what's your opinion on Kylie Jenner v. colonization in Wet Ass Pussy? They would go, get the fuck out of my office. Right. Why are you in here? Leave me alone. Get out of my house. Right.
We're still talking about Jimmy Fallon here. Please excuse us.
I'm having dinner with my family. Please leave. Who let you in here? Okay.
So that's
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie.
Yeah. So it's hot take. Hot take. Just an observation. It's stupid. It's just a little stupid. All right, and then you had Biden's. I assume this is that British interview thing that he did, where he's just fumbling over his words and can't have a coherent thought.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Did you see what he said regarding African Americans and Hispanics?
Yeah. What was it? What was the specific?
He said and I'm paraphrasing, but even though this might be the actual quote, he's like, unlike the black community, Hispanics have a lot of diversity. I was like, oh boy, there, Joey.
And we're not diving into what we thought he meant. It's just not. It's just, I mean, that's just not a great.
It's just factually wrong.
Yeah, that's just not a great.
It's just there's so many cultures. Yeah, and both.
Yeah,
and but he's just like, oh, in his head he's like, no, black people are the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to get him off, like he got off screen, and they were like, Joe, what are you doing out there? Yeah. And he's like, listen, man. All right, this is what we got going on. All right, I go to Moe's Southwest. You like Moe's? I like Moe's. I like Moe's Southwest, man. They got 5 different types of salsas. They got 5 of them. They got 1 hot, they got 2 mild, and I think they got 2 medium there. It's good, man. It's good. I like the salsas. Black people use the 1 hot sauce, and I just. Is that what?
That's all I'm saying. In that, that's all I was trying to say in that TV interview. Like he's way off stage. This is like later that night. He's like, listen, all I was saying was diversity in their condiments.
It's isn't that how we judge races? Isn't that how we judge it by the hot sauce? The Mexicans, they got a lot of hot sauces. They got red and green.
Hey, and white people got mayonnaise, huh? Hey,
and mayonnaise is a little too spicy for me. And then
come on.
He elbows Kamala, and he's like, you know what I'm saying? Mayonnaise is a little too spicy for me. And she's like, Joe, don't touch me.
And by Kamala, it's just a coat rack in his dressing room, and he's just talking to himself.
It's his wife's wig on a fake head. Anyway, Joe, no, come on, Joe, we're over here, man.
Come on, Joe. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's so fucking. Yeah, it's. I was saying, Stella, it feels like the election has generally boiled down to both of your parents are dead, and you have to choose which of your grandfathers you want to go live with.
Right.
For the rest of high school, for the next 4 years. You're a freshman, your parents died in a horrible accident. You have to choose which grandfather you want to go live with. The rich oil baron monster or the older one who's losing it. He's not totally with it.
Right.
And you're not 100% sure how long he's going to be around for.
Right. Can we just call it like it is, that Kamala Harris is really just Joe Biden's nurse? That's what it looks like when they're walking together.
Yeah. It's the what's that the Widowmaker dynamic, but in a good way. Where it's like she's involved until he dies, and then she takes over everything, but we're all here for it. We're all like, yes, we actually like.
It's like the reverse Anna Nicole Smith.
Yes, it's a positive Anna Nicole Smith without any sexual nature involved. They're around each other, and we're all just kind of looking at it. We're just like, well, it's very clear what this dynamic is.
But just as many pills involved.
Yeah, like nobody's really looking. Let's say this. Nope. As somebody who is 100% sure I'm voting for Biden. Let's just say that.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is. Hey, you got my vote, weird guy. But I will say that if you were to ask me, like, do I think he's gonna go 8 years, like, capable?
He can't.
No.
He just physically can't.
That's what it is. So it's like I'm saying like I'm in. But it's also like, if you flipped the names on the bumper sticker for Biden and Kamala, I'm like, that's more of how I see it in my head a little bit.
I don't even know if Joe Biden knows he's running for president. Because he had a new car thing. He had like a car special on some news channel, and he's like, I like that. This is one of my new cars here. I think they just keep throwing cars at him.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he can talk cars. Right, cars. The debate is going to be about how to fix the transmission on a 1965 Ford. And Trump's gonna be like, well, I don't know how to do that, and he's like, well, let me show you that, and that's the only.
They like bring a car out during the debate, and
he keeps doing car.
Biden's just like petting the car and
trying to kiss the car on the roof, fucking that. I feel like the debate is gonna turn into a lot of car metaphors, and everybody's gonna be like, we're talking foreign policy. He's like,
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually brings up the salsas and the hot sauce. So.
Yeah, get him for copyright infringement. Just be like, hey, you clearly listened to the Happle Hour.
Cite the Happle Hour next time.
Cite the Happle Hour. Thank you. Oh, do you have any thoughts on that Herman Cain tweet?
What was his tweet?
This was like Wednesday of this week, and Herman Cain had tweeted, the man who's been famously dead for 2 weeks, tweeted a crazy fucking like anti-Biden Kamala Harris was just like, hey, if you think Trump's bad, check out this crazy stuff from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And literally everybody's retweeting being like, aren't you dead? What are you doing? So it was just I just thought it was very funny, this idea.
That's how Herman Cain became a billionaire. People are like, how? Work ethic.
How am I tweeting from the dead?
Because I want it. Yeah. That's why. How many of you are not working while you're alive? Most of you. How many are working while you're dead? Herman Cain. That's why. All right? It doesn't make sense unless you're Herman Cain.
Yeah. Some people say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll stop working when I'm dead. He's got a 10-year plan for after he's dead to stop working. He's got a 10-year retirement plan after death. He's gonna go to the top, baby. He's gonna be a mogul. for the next 10 years from the grave.
He bought extra strength data for his phone because he's like, I'm going to be 6 feet under, but I got to get these tweets out. So.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's a good app.
I think it's good.
That's everything for me.
Yep.
I got nothing going on. And we'll see him next week.
See you next week.
Like, subscribe. If you see us, kiss us.
Yeah, kiss us. But, ask first. But it's probably okay.
Rate and review.
Rate and review.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, team. Adios.
Bye.